Hey everyone, I'm Arlen Benter Jr. Welcome to the Shoot Par Now Golf Show. My main man, James Stammer, here tonight. Going to be covering some golf stuff. How's everybody doing in your world?
Doing well. Doing well.
As you can see, we're color coordinated this evening.
Yeah, we went the email.
Yeah. What do you say, cherry blossom twins?
Like the cherry blossom twins.
But red's good on you. Red's a good color. I picked red today.
It's a power color today.
I want to thank Cobra Puma, my sponsor, who sends me my shirts. That's always helpful. And want to thank today's sponsor, Divot Board. You're going to be hearing a lot more about Divot Board. It's a great product. And again, it shows you what your clubs are doing, right? And the whole idea is that when you hit a shot, right, the Divot Board's going to show you like where you're creating your divots. It's not as easy with this as we thought.
Club going the wrong way.
That doesn't matter.
There we go.
So, you can't put enough pressure, I guess, this way.
Maybe not.
So, anyway, depending on how you hit the ball, right, if you come over the top, you're going to see this kind of line going that way. If you're coming too much from the inside, you're going to see it go that way. If you're hitting it perfect, you're going to see yourself catch this ball. That would be where the ball would be. And you're going to drive it forward nice and level like that. The bottom of the swing arc is 3 to 5 inches in front of your center, which is normally your belly button, right? So if you're not hitting the ball and taking the divot correctly, you're giving up a lot of power, accuracy. You're not compressing it. You kind of lose distance. So thank you, Divot Board. Description in the, link in the description if you want one. Okay?
And that's not to be confused with Divot the Clown.
No, Divot the Clown.
Remember Divot the Clown?
It's a local icon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
quick funny story about Divot the Clown.
Yes.
My best buddy Dan Shoup.
Yes.
Dan had a radio show, and he had
Kevin on.
He had Divot on as his call-in guest. Divot doesn't talk.
How was that on the show? Honk, honk.
It was
very quiet.
It was hysterical.
So he invited Divot the Clown.
Yeah, so he had to switch characters and
go back to his
Kevin.
pro self.
Go back as Kevin.
So Kevin Compare is a really good local
lefty too.
Club Pro player, right? Really good player. So haven't seen that. I mean, Kevin's up there probably. Divot's probably retired.
Yeah, my Divot might be retired by now. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good story though.
Yeah.
Remind us not to book a clown, and if we do,
yeah, don't ever book mime, especially if it's just a radio show.
So speaking of mines and clowns, no.
Oh my goodness!
This weekend in golf, it wasn't really a clown show. I thought it was a great tournament. Yeah. I mean, anytime you have two guys battling out, 3 extra holes. I mean, my goodness. And then it's like, who's going to flinch? Like, because they were hitting it close on the extra holes too. And again, they're playing the same hole a lot. But anyway, what we're talking about is the FedEx Jude Championship, right? Which was played in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yep. At
the TPC Southwind course. It's par 70, about 7,300 yards. It's a nice golf course. It's more open Parkland style, but you still got to hit it good, right? And basically,
they had that wiry rough that the ball really.
Oh my God! It got down.
There wasn't that 6-inch lush U.S. Open stuff.
Yep.
But the ball disappeared real quick sometimes.
I wonder I wonder what that was, because usually what you see on the thick rough on the colder area courses, it's kind of like a bent or a rye or something. It's more like bent, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so Justin Rose and JJ Spaun both finished at 16 under, forcing a 3-hole playoff. Now, JJ Spaun, as you remember, we covered
sudden death playoff.
Sudden death, right? First guy
matching each other.
Yeah, kept matching. And on the 3rd hole, Justin Rose makes his putt.
11-foot birdie putt.
And then Spaun misses.
Spaun misses his 7. Well, I think it was a 7-footer.
Yeah, it's a tie, right?
And what was intriguing was they moved the hole.
Oh, is that what happened?
They had at 18 had that Sunday pin position back
in the front.
Left,
yep.
Back left with the water just to the left of the hole, and obviously they played it in regulation. They played it on the first playoff hole. They played it on the second playoff hole, and then they announced that they were going to move the pin
just to give it a different.
Like, just to do something, just to make it a little different. Make them hit a different shot in here, which I thought was a great idea.
I've never heard of that.
And they moved it. They kept it at about the similar depth on the green, but moved it over to the right.
That's why it was a different look.
That's why it was a completely different look.
I didn't even pick up on that.
The third hole. And what was interesting was I watched them when they were getting ready to move it, And I said to my wife, I said, they're putting it right where J.J. Spaun just hit his shot.
On the long one.
So the long putt that he ended up making for birdie, I'm like, he can hit this really close if he has the same shot.
He knows exactly what it is.
Exactly what he's got to do.
But
he just didn't make the play.
I thought it was a great theater there, having a playoff. And so Justin Rose, the first playoff hole, right, they both missed birdie. And then Spaun rolled in a long birdie, but Rose matched. Pretty cool. And then the third hole, Rose they said 10-footer here, but 10, 11-footer to win, and he missed. So again, great tournament. Part of the FedEx Cup Series, right?
Yeah, first playoff week.
And so I know there's money for this, but now it's wiped off the board. It's like everyone starts fresh next week, right? Like there's no like
they start fresh for the Tour Championship. Not next week. There's still cumulative points for FedEx Cup.
It's still part of the FedEx. Yeah,
like Ricky Fowler, I think is 48th on the list.
Yeah,
he's going to have to play well because he's got to jump into the top 30
to get
in order to get to the.
But the whole point is it's still the points and the money. But again, they have to keep moving up, right? So the next week they'll have only top 30. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Like Justin Rose won this week. Yeah. If he's not in the top 30 next week,
he's done.
Yeah, but he probably can't get knocked out.
It's going to be hard for him to get knocked out
because he's got enough points, right?
I mean, I don't think there's a cut, so he can't. Yeah, there better not be a cut with only 50 guys in the field.
So Rose had a great last 5 holes in regulation. He had 4 of last 5 holes he birdied to shoot his 67.
Yeah, he birdied, counting the playoff, he birdied 6 of his last 9 holes.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, you kind of, I talk about this to even my
6 of his last
tournament players. I said, sooner or later, if you're going to win something, you're going to have to birdie a lot of holes coming down the stretch. Yeah. That's just what tournament golf looks like. So obviously, he did a really good job. Do you know that at 45? He becomes the oldest European winner in PGA Tour history.
Wow. Very good for him.
Yeah.
And he's the first guy in his 40s or older this year to win on the PGA Tour. We've had a bunch of newer, younger guys winning.
Yeah, a lot of younger guys. Season. Yeah. So 45 years old, now he becomes the oldest European. Some of the other highlights, right? Obviously, poor Tommy, right? Whew.
Tommy Fleetwood.
Wow.
Twice in less than a month.
Right there.
He's had the lead at some point on the back 9 on Sunday and hasn't been able to close it.
I think that chip shot he had on 17. Was it 17 or 16?
Well, 16 was the par 5 that he went over the green in 2.
Yeah, and he chipped all the way down the hill.
And rolled it all the way off the front. And that really struggled to make par.
It's funny.
He made par, but that's a hole you got to make a birdie.
You cannot. That killed him.
Yeah.
And then there was somebody else like the hole before in the highlight that had the same shot. Like they went long.
Yeah.
And I think they made it. Maybe it was J.J. Spaun from the back of the green. I think he was on the back of the green too.
He put it down there close.
Yeah, but that was a tough shot. But you could just see when he missed that chip and it went off the green, his deflated look. Like you just saw it. Like oh my God. Like
here we go again.
Can you believe I just did that? I'm on in 2 basically. And all I got to do is chip this to within X, and it ran down the green. So I think that was hurtful. And then missed the 3.
And a really bad effort on 17 on his par.
Yeah, but I meant I think it was already.
I think he was done mentally at that point.
Yeah,
or he was at least spiraling.
Well, no, think about mentally, right? So you're there. I don't know. Was he 1? Was he tied on 16?
He was tied at 16 under.
Yeah, and he didn't give away anything on 16, but he felt like he lost the hole because everybody else is birding. Yeah. And then he goes to 17, and I think he was only 15 under. I don't know. Was he 16 on 16?
Because he wound up 1 back. He needed a birdie. He needed a birdie on the last
to tie.
Yeah. Yep.
And he bogeys.
And he bogeyed it. And he bogeyed 17. So yeah, he needed a birdie on 18
to tie.
And he hit his drive into bunker.
So he was still grinding then on 17. He just missed, and that just deflated him. Yep. I didn't even see what he did on 18, but they took him off the board, so he just wasn't. I think he parred.
I think he parred. I mean, wound up. Yeah, he parred. Wound up. It was respectable 69. But he was basically did
there.
Nothing on the whole front 9.
Just couldn't close.
He made a birdie on 14. Yep. And that kind of got. And all of a sudden he had a 2-shot lead.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he didn't have any lead.
Yeah, I feel bad, but I still think he's going to get there. It's one of those stories like, you know, once he finally gets like the big one,
Yeah.
he has a chance.
We were watching the golf tournament on Saturday. Watching this, they posted up some of the like beginning of the week odds, and you know, just in Vegas you can bet on anything.
Right.
And apparently, if you're on the right app on your phone,
You can put
bet
some
with
bets.
the
Yep.
casinos here in Florida. JJ Spaun on Saturday when he finished up was minus 1,400, which means if you bet $100 and he wins, you make $1,400. I thought about making that bet. I go, man, that's a nice. The way he's playing, that'd be close. Boy, I would have been sweating last night, and I would have been mad.
You would have lost your 100. I wonder what Justin Rose was. No, because nobody had it. He would have been way higher because who would have thought he would have had all those birdies coming down the stretch.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler played well again. Very hot with his putter. Just kind of fell off a little bit towards the end. But man, now what was the deal? Was he played with a substitute caddy? Did you know that?
I heard that, but I don't remember what.
Somebody got some family emergency. So
family emergency, and
he had to take off.
I don't know whether he went to the
where he got him
caddy
from.
finders.
No, he probably had one of his family members carry for him. But I mean, that's always like a kind of a, did that not having his caddy interfere with his round? Maybe, maybe. Right. Yeah. Ryder Cup implications. So Rose and Spaun secured automatic.
That's good.
Yeah, so European and Ryder Cup spots. And Shane Lowry slipped to 7th, but they said that there's nowhere he's not being a captain's pick. They just can't imagine
he's going to
him.
be a pick. He's not a pick.
And then Minwoo Lee fell from the top 50 to 57th. So a lot of guys that were like right there got bumped, so they're done.
Yeah,
they both missed next week's BMW.
Yeah. Chris Kirk was another one that was. He had a couple of putts late that didn't fall, and then he finally made one on 18, and it was too little, too late.
Yeah. So next week it's going to be the BMW Championship, right?
Yeah, that's up in Maryland.
Should be nice. So we'll be covering that next week. Again, we just got some notes here about the course and some tweaks and stuff, but nothing major.
Rory will be back.
Yeah.
He skipped this week. Rory will be playing next week.
So he automatically was high up enough he didn't need to play. Yeah. And I think that, I think the big thing this week was how is someone like Tommy Fleetwood going to like handle the stress? Like how does he come back next week? That really is going to show you like a true champion, right?
Yeah.
So
he's got a lot on the line. I mean, he's in the top 30 now. He wants to stay there.
Right.
So he obviously has to have a
decent
week,
tournament. Yeah.
A good week because otherwise you're out, and there's so much money to be made
on the
getting to the final event.
Because there's so much money, even in just in the top 30, you make so much, even if just to make it, they make so much money. So anyway, that's kind of like our coverage of it. I thought it was a good event, and you know what? I think it is kind of an exciting time of year with the FedEx Cup. I mean, having a Ryder Cup here is always kind of cool too, but the FedEx Cup, pretty neat.
Yeah.
What they're doing. And
maybe what Tommy needs to do is go to the Live Tour because they only play 3 rounds.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Probably be good on Live. I think that ship sailed already, though. He's probably not worth.
I hope he doesn't go. I like Tommy.
If
you're listening, Tommy, sorry about the dig, but
that was yeah. But what was worse when we were giving them like jobs, and you gave Tommy Fleetwood we had Scotty Scheffler as a grocery store manager, and you said he was going to be the produce manager. I forget what you said, but whatever you said, I was like, whoa, not that. I said he was going to be a tattoo artist owner.
Tommy Fleetwood, tattoo artist.
What would Justin? So if
I could see him running a hairstyling salon.
There you go, with long hair, right? He's so cool too, right? Hey, if you missed that, a couple shows ago, we were playing around. We had a lot of fun with like giving players, like if they weren't tour players, what kind of jobs
what
did we
job
have?
would they have?
So we should add that to the show every week, like based on who like some of the winners were. So let's just do Justin Rose, Englishman. What kind of job would he have been? Well, that's
I'm picturing being a Ferris wheel operator.
A Ferris wheel operator. You got some crazy jobs. So I have him running like a tailor at a high-end shop. with like the thing on his neck and coming in and fitting you for a suit.
Got the tape.
Yeah. That's what I put it in. And did we do?
Mr. Bond, are you still on the 42 regular?
Hey, those guys make big bucks. I'm talking high end, like thousands of dollars for a suit or more, like big money.
I like that one better. Yeah, I can see you doing that.
And then what would we do with JJ Spaun? Ooh, JJ Spaun. Not playing golf. Let's think about this. California vibes. I don't know.
A professional bull rider?
Bull rider? No, I'm going to give him California. I think he's going to own a Mexican restaurant.
You're going to put it in a Mexican restaurant?
A really nice one, though. Not a bad, or maybe, more than a food truck. Like a nice, it's called Spaun's.
That's a good food truck.
I don't think he's even Mexican, though. I don't know if he is. I don't know what nationality he is, but he could be a restaurant owner. That's what I'm going to go for. So anyway, make a comment what you think those people would be in real life if they weren't making millions.
Pick on the top three.
Yeah. Who was the third guy would have been? We don't even know who fell out.
We had Spaun. Scheffler.
Would have been Scheffler. Yeah. That's, we won't kill our show with that, but that's pretty good. So you got Justin Rose. I'm going to have him as a tailor, and you have him as what?
I like that better.
Where were you going?
I have him as a Ferris wheel operator.
Is that a job? That's not a career. It's like a car, like you're a carny.
I don't know.
Step right up.
Look like they've been there forever.
Maybe. Anyway, so that kind of covers the tour. Now, we are going to have our segment tonight. We're going to do our tip segment. I do not have a highlight or spotlight on the junior this week. We're not going to do that. But I did want to talk a little bit, and I wanted you to talk a little bit about any kind of little stories, which you were telling me before we started. What were you telling me about? The race car driver one?
Oh, race car driver.
You got to look. This is off subject, but
yeah, you've got to look it up. The guy that won this past weekend in NASCAR.
NASCAR.
You know how they like to climb up on top of the roof of their car? Well, he was kind of trying to get partway up there, and his foot slipped on the window, and his leg caught, and he basically face planted himself on the pavement. It hurt just to see. It was like, ow.
He stayed on the ground. He was hurt.
He didn't move. I don't know whether he hurt his shoulder or his face or.
I've never seen that.
Knocked himself. I don't know, but
he was like trying to get on his car, being like, "Yeah," and his leg caught the window jamb or door, and he went face plant.
Oh yeah, he face planted
because he couldn't. Hard. Well, he couldn't catch himself because his leg got caught in the door or the window.
Yeah,
and he went. It almost like broke his leg and
flipped him. It slammed him into the ground.
That's one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was ugly.
Not to make we're not making fun. I hope the guy's okay, but I've never seen that. And
not the best window not the best winning celebration you can do.
No, and this is what we do. Pre-show, what's going on, and you chit chat. And he's like, "Have you seen that?" I'm like, "No, I haven't seen that." I was like, "Ouch!"
Yeah, ow.
Wow. Don't want that to happen to anybody. I did want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that's going on locally. So, we do talk a little bit about local golf, and not necessarily unless we have events or charities or something we're talking about. But I wanted to tell everybody out there, if you're following Shoot Parnell and you go to Shoot Parnell website, added some new programs for August. We actually added a Wednesday morning golf school, which I haven't tried to do in the summer, even though it's kind of like late summer already. August, September, we're going to do this morning school, see what that looks like.
It's Florida. It's summer 11 months out of the year.
Yeah, but the morning's not bad. I had some stuff. We're going to try to do this adult golf camp, but one guy signed up. So we did this thing. So that's going on. There's still specials running if you want to come work with me indoors. There's an 8-week pack we call VIP. Have our first VIP event on August 17th. That's where people that have gone through my program and have learned the system, I host an event out at Saints, and they have to break par from 200 yards. Mm-hmm. And everybody who I said it to, they always mock that game. Like, it's so easy. I can do that.
It's not easy.
No. You'd be shocked how hard it is to shoot 36 from 200 yards on a golf course that has green structure. Because if you miss, you can get in trouble, right? Because you still got to hit the chip. But you would think everybody would make 3s and 4s. It's really hard. So we're doing that. Got the Wednesday thing. And we just finished all of our summer camps like 2 weeks ago. And now high school's starting. And I've got 4 kids that came out of camp that have signed up to do what I call advanced training. So this is something I've been doing for a long time. But it's just fun watching these 13 and 14-year-olds or 12-year-olds. And they they're pretty good at golf, right? They did some training. Now they want to be good players. And so high school starts this week. Schools all went back, I think today, first day of school.
There was a lot of traffic on the road this morning.
And there's a lot of kids that are going to be coming. So some of the kids I'm going to share in the spotlight later, especially ones that I think that have a chance to play, maybe after high school, small school level. I don't have any kids in the system that I would consider major players, but it's fun watching kids grow up, get better, and then move on to collegiate golf, even no whatever level, NAIA or Division III or whatever. It's still a big accomplishment.
One day you're sitting there watching TV and you're, hey, I know that guy.
Yeah, I haven't had that happen yet. Close.
I remember I had a couple of friends from high school that were on the team, and they played in the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Then I'm watching the U.S. Open, and
You had a kid from your high school team playing the U.S. Open?
Yeah. I have a couple of guys that I played with on the high school team qualified for the U.S. Open.
You had two guys from your high school team.
Steve Tharp and Kevin Altenhoff. Both qualified and played in the U.S. Open. We're talking back in the late 80s.
Doesn't matter. That's crazy.
Yep. So I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, I know these guys.
You will listen. You will not hear that story again. I don't think you could go find somebody, a friend that played high school golf with two guys that played in the U.S. Open. You might be the only guy that can say that.
Maybe.
That's crazy.
I wish I was the third one.
Two guys now, not one guy. I mean, I can see one guy saying,
two teammates.
Wow, that is an incredible story all by itself. Anything else you wanted to add to today's show? Anything new that's going on, exciting?
No, got some. Might have a report on Glenlee soon.
That opening the new course.
They're about to open.
Yeah. That's
out there off of Glades Cutoff Road.
Yeah, it's a little north of PGA, right? Yeah.
Yeah, way out there.
Yeah, back in the boons back there. Yeah. Well, that's going to be part of that expansion, right? More stuff.
Same people that did Astor Creek did this one.
Oh, it's another development.
And this is Jim Furyk's first
signature course.
He had another course that got started, but when COVID hit and everything kind of fell flat, and it wound up never finishing. Never got done.
And it's called Glenlee?
So this is called Glenlee. Yeah.
Glenlee.
Yeah. It's Lea, but they say Lee, not Liam. But yeah.
Have you been out to play Astor Creek?
I have.
What do you think? I know it's wide open. Everybody says it's pretty nice.
Twice. I liked it. The first time I played out there, it was about 40 knot winds.
Oh, that's no fun.
But you know what? I played well considering. I think it was because I was just trying to swing easy and not let the wind catch it and take it God knows where. It's a nice course.
Yeah.
Got a lot of variation and stuff. What's really neat is the tee boxes. There's no separated tee boxes.
Right.
It's one big, huge teeing area, so they can put the tees
all over the place,
anywhere on there.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah. But I have a lot of students. I mean, not a lot, but I have a handful of students that join and played, and they like it. I haven't had a chance to go out there. Maybe I will. I don't know. But it's nice that golf courses are being built. That means it's growing. Here it's growing. We know Florida's growing, especially Port St. Lucie. It's really growing. And that's where my academy is. So we're in Stewart. My indoor center is in Stewart, and my outdoor center is at the Saints golf course, which is about Saints 20 minutes from there. If you come in, no traffic, with traffic.
And how's the conditions there? I know they punched the greens maybe a month ago.
So
everything's grown back and ready to go.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, this is a good topic. I'm glad you brought it up. The superintendent's done a really good job the last couple weeks since the airification, but I don't know if I mentioned, but we were having problems with those like torpedo or goose grass, that grass, that weed that gets in. And once that starts going on a green, it's really hard. And I had people even comment on some of my videos from summer camp, like, bro, what are you putting on, weeds? And there are parts of like the practice green that were really bad. The course isn't that bad, but it's still a lot. Anyway, I don't know what they did, but they got a hold of something. And they've been treating that thing, and it's gone on the putting green. It doesn't look great yet because it's got to die off.
You had to die. You had to kill everything.
But he killed it, and they did a little mini airification, and they actually have it blocked off. This will be for a whole week. It was blocked. So I'm hoping this week when I go, especially on Friday, or actually this Wednesday, if we have enough people to do my little morning class. But I'm hoping it's coming back. But we really needed rain, and we finally got some rain yesterday. We've been kind of in a drought, like. We had a really good rain about 10 days ago, but we went summertime. We always have a lot of rain. We just haven't been getting it.
I know South Stewart got a lot of rain on Saturday.
On Saturday,
they had some guys come into the cigar shop that were They only got 9 holes in playing down.
Yeah.
Down at Champions
I don't think
Club.
it made it up this way though. And
But
Sunday we got some.
Kind of got stalled before it got north of.
But I think if the Saints gets a little rain, I think it'll perk back because it's in pretty good shape. It's always in decent shape. It's never bad, but the greens haven't been like what they normally are because of the weed thing. But I think that'll come in. So anyway, if you're local and you're watching this, come out, check it out. There's also, if you're a student of mine, you gotta be a student or at least been through a program. We do have an academy membership that you can join, which gives you access to the Saints in the afternoons for a really, really low price. Plus you get discounts on lessons, inner circle, part of some different groups. So just make sure to go check out True Par now, as all information is up there, okay? Anyway, thanks for watching this week. We'll see you guys. Be safe out there, play some good golf, and take care. Hey everyone, it's Coach Arlen Bento Jr. here with James Stammer, getting ready to give you our lesson of the week, little golf tip. And I had an idea for today's tip, but I like the question you brought up before we were doing our show, right?
Okay.
So James was asking me about the position of the club in takeaway, right? Yeah. So go ahead and set up here. So what we were talking about, or what he asked me, he said he watched something. When you get to the takeaway, which is going to be about waist high in your backswing, right? The club face should be relatively, this leading edge should be parallel to the player's spine angle. So the tilt of his spine and the leading edge should match up. Now, do players have different ideas? Absolutely. Some players like the club more open here, which tends to set the club more open at the top. Some people like it closed here, which tends to set it more closed at the top. See how the face is looking at the camera? Mm-hmm. So if it's closed, obviously you're going to hit the ball more to the left. If it's open, you're going to hit a little higher, maybe a little to the right.
Look how much you've de-lofted that.
Oh, a lot. And that's a problem with a lot of people too, because a lot of us are playing these new clubs. I mean, if you have a set that's, 2 to 4 years old, the lofts on the clubs have changed so much. So an 8-iron today is probably comparable to a 6-iron from 20 years ago, right? It's really strong. Now, why they're doing it is, one, you do hit it better. It makes you feel good. But it's really designed because the club has so much tech that it launches the ball so high that if they don't de-loft it, a player would hit it too high.
Yeah. Everything would look like a lob wedge.
But golf's this, I say this all the time in my lessons. There's this style, which is, you want your swing to look a certain way, like a good player swing, which we do. And there's efficiency, right? So efficiency is the concept of, so what's the club doing when it actually hits the ball, right? And what I really work on really hard is I want the path to be neutral, which means as you approach the ball, I want it to be slightly inside of a zero path, 1, 2, that kind of number, with the face square. What I find is that in the backswing, if a player doesn't get the club into that position that we're talking about, they have to manipulate, right? So if James goes back and he normally gets it open here, right? It's going to open. It's going to naturally open as he gets to the top anyway. So now he's on the way down. He's really, if he does that, that sucker's going right.
I really got to like you said, manipulate my arms and hands.
Yeah.
To get that club squared off.
And we talked about that in I think lesson last week. We talked about the knuckles turning down a little bit, which helps square the club. Mm-hmm. But really, if you can start the club back, do it again and get there, and keep that relatively parallel. So this line here, parallel to his spine, right? Let me see what you look like. See what your spine looks like. Yeah, that's pretty good there. So you see how he's got that club in a much better position? So that'll help you out a lot. So if you're struggling, boom, yep.
Yeah, it doesn't take much effort at all to drop the club down.
No. And it all depends, everyone's grip's a little different. Some people have, like you have a little bit of a cupped wrist, which does open the club a little bit. Mm-hmm. So if your wrist is a little like this, it'll be a little open. If your wrist is flat or if your wrist is bowed, it's a little closed. So with the grip you have and where you put it, I would say that's a very, very important thing to pay attention to. So if you're struggling with squaring your club up, I want you to go and find yourself a mirror. And then when the club gets about halfway back, just make sure that this club, if you're hitting it right especially, you don't want it to be there, right? You want it to be right there. I would say that's spine angle. It's around 35 degrees if you were to look at it. And then, strike from there. All right. All right, that's our lesson tip for today. Thanks for watching our show. See you guys next week.
See you in the hole.
In the hole. Take care, everybody.